Botched.
I have to be a botch eventually.
So low. Welcome back to the SF Comic Book Co. The show of shows here, the SF Company Hour. Welcome, issue number 14 here. Saturday, what is it? The 25th of January 2020. To my
2020 already.
Right? Yeah, it's very annoying actually adding the extra 20. So right here to my right, first time on the show, Sophia, Sofo Diaz.
Wow, thank you.
Already so many nicknames. Welcome, first time on the show, Sophia.
Yes,
welcome.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about your geekdom. What do you bringing to the table? You got some dork side about you, so please share with the group.
Absolutely. I attribute it all to my father. So from a young age, he shoved comic books and Star Wars down my throat, which I'm endlessly thankful for. So now I'm just a huge stickler for Star Wars and the classics and the old ways. This is a true story. So my parents are like pretty lenient, pretty liberal throughout my life. But my dad told me, and he wasn't kidding, that if I ever saw the prequels, that he would ground me. And I told him that I saw episode 2, and he wouldn't talk to me for a full day. So that's
there's some quality in the prequels. I'm a prequelist. I like some of the, there's some cool thing. And if you're gonna just watch any of the prequels, watch Part 3. Part 3 is awesome.
They're pretty to look at.
You gotta watch the anti-cheese versions online and cut out all the bullshit. So awesome. So yeah, welcome to the show, Sophia.
Thanks for having me.
And next to us, one of our returning champs, the well-dressed. I told him dress down a little bit today, so he went all out. You fancy bastard.
I came in my pajamas.
What you can't see is he's wearing pajama pants.
He's wearing a Speedo underneath. Yeah. He's business casual. Welcome, Ricky. Welcome back.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much.
Loved having you last time, so welcome back on the show.
It's good to be back.
And welcome back. Let's see. And over in our engineer extraordinaire corner, Ricky was on time today. So
I was on time.
He was on time. We're very proud of him.
Thank you.
She was not on time. Good, Rick. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excited about anything this week?
About a few things.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
ready.
Yeah, calm down, all right?
We'll get
to it.
You're excited.
Contain yourself.
Let's
Ricky.
Please.
We don't want to. We're gonna get censored for this. All
right.
right.
My apologies.
We got a bunch of stuff to talk about this week. Let's see. We're gonna talk about a couple trailers first. So let's see. The first one let's talk about is The Lodge. It's like a horror thriller kind of movie. I've heard this coming out of I think some of the film festivals coming out last year. I think this is the second trailer that's come out. Looks very, very moody. Almost has like a lot of like Misery, Shining kind of vibes to it. It's very, very. I don't know what's going on, but it looks shot well. It looks like a fun movie. Sophia, just take a look at this trailer. What'd you think of it?
It was definitely interesting. I don't know, kind of a lot. I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit nervous for like all new movies coming out, I guess, right now, to be honest. I've just been, 2019 I was really disappointed in. Besides, like, I felt like TV shows did okay, but I was like really disappointed in movies.
I wasn't blown away by 2019 movie. There was like a handful like really good movies, but nothing like spectacular, like, nothing great. I was disappointed in a couple things. Ricky, what'd you think of this trailer?
I mean, first of all, the name is just too damn obvious. They could have named it something else. I mean, it's
Mr.
called
Lodge?
The Lodge, and it takes place in, spoiler alert, a lodge. But, I mean, yeah, it looks creepy. It looks well done. It's, I'm not a huge fan of horror movies. Like, my wife, she loves to terrorize me with them. So, I sit through them. But yeah, it looks like it would be an enjoyable watch with a few frights in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to give too much away. Hopefully in the trailer.
I'm all for like watch the first trailer. If I'm into it, I don't watch any more trailers. Rick, what do you got? What do you think of this? You're Mr. Horror aficionado.
Oh, dude. I'm getting tired of these like one-named. Yeah, it's just
right?
The lodge, the cave, the this, the that. It's kind of unimaginative. The movie looks kind of cool. It's just that one thing that kind of attracts you right off the bat is supposed to be like a good title. The trailer, it kind of feels like it's trying to be just like everything else I've seen, like Hereditary and just the things lately.
Like cookie cutters.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
These horrors are starting to become cookie cutter. Although I did see some good horror, they're trying to compare it to those, and it's just like that's what Hollywood does now. They take a small little thing like a movie like Midsommar, and
Midsommar.
Yeah, Midsommar.
Midsommar.
They're trying to look at how clever this is, and they're trying to jump. Same thing like with Scream. After Scream, they made
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Every copycat movie.
All of these same kind of small micro genre movie, and it just I don't know. It doesn't look like it's done well.
I'm getting the reason I put this on because some of the reviewers I actually trust, like they saw this at some of the festivals and saying it's like really good. So the trailer's not really doing it justice. So we'll see what comes out.
It's always a bad cut. There can always be a bad cut of a trailer.
Yeah. Was it March? It's coming out. I think March.
February 7th.
February 7th. Okay, there you go. Something else comes out that day too. So the next trailer we're going to talk about is Gun Akimbo, starring the great Daniel Radcliffe. Has it's a kind of a he's like in a purge type world where they pick people to like fight against each other. He gets guns bolted to his hand, and he's like just an everyman going through trying to save his girlfriend. Ricky, what'd you think of this trailer?
Interesting concept. I definitely thought it was pretty cool. Daniel Radcliffe, I can't really picture as much in an action role, like where he's like really all balls out, guns blazing. But I'm up for it. Yeah. I'm definitely interested in seeing how he plays it off. I mean, he's a decent actor. Not that. It's just I can't picture him in that role. It's hard to see him not as Harry Potter. Like it's it's Harry Potter with guns. Yeah. But maybe this is the role like people change their like, oh, this is the guy from Gun Akimbo, not Harry Potter. And I wonder if they address in the movie like all of the challenges that he has because he has guns bolted to his hands. There's got to be a bathroom scene, right? How does he wipe? How does he eat? How does he open doors? How does he, it's got to add some comedy to it. So. Sophia, what'd you think of this?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I'm super excited for this movie. But I mean, did you ever see? I don't remember the name of the movie. It was like Horns or something like that. That Daniel Radcliffe was in. I remember that movie. I didn't see it though. Okay, yeah.
What is it called?
Horns.
Horns.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it, but I remember the trailers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it ages ago when it came out. But I mean, he was a pretty good actor in that, and it was like very like actiony kind of adventure. But I think it's interesting because he is definitely more of the like dorky-ish type to like that he's like the leader in this, but it actually reminded me of a couple Black Mirror episodes. The ones I'm
yeah.
Like, cool TV show.
Oh yeah, that's an awesome TV show. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it definitely feels like a Black Mirror kind of episode.
Yeah, there was like that one where it was like a hacker group would just like log into people's computers and like make them go like rob banks or do crazy things, and at the end they had to like fight to the death. Yeah, that's what this kind of reminds me of too. Or like tweeting someone's name, and like, and then they die.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah,
that was a messed up episode.
Yeah. they're all messed up episodes, man. Yeah. Like I can only watch a couple Black Mirror episodes and then gotta take a break for like a week just to like absorb all the fucking disturbing fucking shit.
There was a few that were thought provoking and not so disturbing, but
Kill the DJ I think was the only one that had like a positive ending where you were like, oh, this is sweet. Yeah. Did you see that one? It was like the dating episode one.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. They're good TV. Rick, what do you feel about the future Wolverine, Daniel Radcliffe?
Let's not go there. Let's not. This one, dude. I think I saw the trailer for the first time I was here, and I just turned to you and I was like, dude, did you see this Guns Akimbo trailer? And I'll probably get crucified for this with certain people, but I think this could be like Daniel Radcliffe's like version of an action version of Ash from The Evil Dead. The reluctant hero fucking just pushed into it, and it's just like shit's working out for him. He's just like an ordinary dude. Everything's just coming at him, and like.
Does that gun have unlimited ammo, or is he gonna?
No, but that'd be awesome, man. You know, it'd be awesome if they would have given him 2 lawgivers from Judge Dredd.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Greatest gun in movie history, right there.
Yeah, you're right. Great Oasis gun, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, I think I got big hopes for this shit.
Yeah.
It just looks like fun. I like going to movies for fun. You know, I'm not trying to look for the most of the time the artistic merits. I'm astounded by all of that stuff. And, you know, like movie like 1917 was awesome. But sometimes I like to go for this fucking cheese, you know?
Yeah, it feels like what's that Clive Owen movie?
Hellraiser?
No, Hellraiser.
Oh, no, Clive Barker. Completely different guy, dude, sorry.
Clive Owen was at the Guns, what was the movie?
Shoot 'em Up?
Shoot 'em Up. It's like a cross between Shoot 'em Up and Crank, pretty much. Like, feels like kind of like that high octane kind of vibe to it. So, we'll see. Like, I'm rooting for Daniel Radcliffe. He's a good actor, man. I'm glad to see him like doing other shit and trying
Swiss Army Man.
Oh my God, Swiss Army Man.
And Imperium. Another one. Very good one.
Did you guys see Swiss Army Man?
No.
Swiss Army Man's great. It's on Netflix.
It's good?
It's on Netflix.
I'll check it out. It's on my list. All right.
Paul Dano's great.
Yeah.
I like Paul Dano. He's a good actor. Let's see. All right, cool. So, let's see. Let's talk about, we'll do the Clone Wars trailer after that, since we're doing a big Star Wars talk. So the Captain Marvel movie's coming out 2022. They made it official. They announced the writer of it. I think it's the writer of WandaVision is going to be writing this. So I guess they're trying to tie everything together. Kind of like, what do you want to see from this movie? Like, did you guys like the first Captain Marvel movie? What do you want to see coming up from after the fact? Like, what do you want to see for the next step of the character? Sophia, what do you think? What'd you think of a Captain Marvel? Did you like that movie?
I did. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I wasn't like insanely blown away by it. Like, I think there's more that they could do, but I think they have like a good foundation to build off of. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing in the first movie that was like, oh my God, this is a perfect film. But there wasn't anything that I was like upset by or disappointed by, and I think that they have like a lot of room to like build on some really interesting things in the second one. And good writers, good directors. I'm stoked. I'm stoked.
Ricky?
Aren't they looking for like a director still for that?
I think so. Yeah,
they're looking for a female director.
Yeah,
like they want it to be like
Deborah Chow, man. She's like, great.
Yeah. I was gonna say
But I liked the first one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to watch. It definitely had some great action scenes, and like Sophia said, it built the foundation for further movies.
Yeah. I like Brie Larson.
I do.
Role.
Yeah.
And it's one to knock, and it's like. One of the grievances people have with it is like she's overpowered, and which is the same thing. A problem a lot of people have with Superman too, which is like, how do you defeat Superman? It's like you have to make all these like she comes in and like she can snap her finger and end so many wars. So one thing I want to see I want this to kind of tie into X-Men in a way, because Carol Danvers has a lot of ties to the X-Men. Especially with the character of Rogue.
It's very smart of them to like weave these characters into like stories together as well.
I think this is a good way to do it. Like in the comic, Carol Danvers, she has a run-in with Rogue of the X-Men. Before she was an X-Men, she was a bad guy, and Rogue kind of absorbed some of her power. So that's why in the comic, Rogue can fly and has super strength, because she absorbed the powers from Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel at the time. So I think if they're going to depower a little bit, have Rogue kind of tie into the X-Men universe, have Rogue in there. It's a good way to kind of lead way towards the X-Men and have her Rogue start off as a bad guy, end up with the X-Men. And you can tie it all together, have like a scene at the end, like credits, like she shows up at Xavier's school, and they've retrain her, rehabilitate her. Rick, what do you think of this? You hated Captain Marvel, right?
No, I actually like it. It's cool. I don't want them to be on Earth. I want them to be in space. Yeah. That's my big thing with a property like Captain Marvel. Just stop ruining things by keeping things on Earth and just...
Yeah, Earth sucks. I don't want to see... I'm tired of Earth. We've seen enough Earth, okay?
No, when it comes to these, like, celestial characters like Captain Marvel or, like, Silver Surfer, if they're going to bring something like Silver Surfer, like, keep it in space.
Yeah. Just the problem with, like...
explore that world. Yeah. Introduce the Shi'ar at one point.
Oh, I want to see the Shi'ar. I love the Shi'ar. I want to see Gladiator. Fucking Gladiator is my favorite.
Just just there's such a big world, and the fact that they want to stick to Earth so many times, I think that's what caused so many of these Marvel movies sometimes to just.
Yeah, Earth sucks.
It does.
Like that's the problem with like the first Thor movie. Like all the shit on Asgard.
It should have been on Asgard the whole time.
Yeah,
should have been on
the
Asgard.
shit when they went to Earth. Bleh,
At the end.
Yeah,
Come
like
to
yeah,
Earth, come
or have
for
like
the
in the
last 30
beginning, like,
minutes.
yeah, for like Earth sucks. So Green Lantern, another example. Like
Oh god.
have it set in space.
That movie hurts, bro.
All the shit in space on Oa is great. Yeah.
I hope they do some more like exploring with that. Also because I think we definitely need an explanation like where she was for all of Endgame.
Exactly.
You know, like I mean, like she said, it's a big universe. Blah blah blah. Great, show us that.
yeah.
If it's just gonna be her like showing up last minute.
Oh, here I'm gonna save the
Hi,
day.
guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, I want to see some challenges from her. I want to, I want to see some more depth and some, and then there's the cosmic. You could, like you said, you could have her fight the Shi'ar, like tied to the X-Men. There's so many things you could do with Carol Danvers.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great character.
It's just, I don't want them to close the world on her. She opens up the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Along with like exploring more of the universe outside of Earth, I'd like to see more movies that are like centered on the villain.
Yeah.
Like I want to see
sure.
more like movies where they're like
Villain-centric.
showcasing like.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it for 100th time. God damn it, Doctor Doom. The trilogy, I want to see it all. Doctor Doom.
Root for the bad guy. Why
Yeah,
not?
the bad guys are more intriguing, and now that they have like the X-Men properties and Fantastic Four properties, that's where all the great villains are at. That's why they kind of exhausted all the good villains these last Marvel, like Thanos, Red Skull, like kind of
fucking misused Red Skull.
Yeah,
bro.
Red Skull's a great villain, but all the great villains are X-Men and Fantastic Four. You have Galactus, you have the Super Skrull, you have Magneto, Sabretooth, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Mystique, like Sinister, Apocalypse. You have all these great villains in the X-Men and Fantastic Four universe. So it's just basically what you just said. Like the next phase of Marvel should be the villains. This should be a villain-centric. Norman Osborn, all these great villains.
Do you think Feige will do Apocalypse correctly?
Oh yeah, I think
God.
they can do Apocalypse right for once. Like not have him look like Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers. Yeah, nerd rage.
Fanboys crying. The Vapors.
The Vapors. So yeah, Deborah Chow would be a good director. Any other directors you can think that'd be good for this? I like them sticking with the female directors with this. I think it definitely needs a female touch on these movies.
Deborah Chow's great, man.
Yeah,
she's
forever. She's a great director.
You can't go. Who else? Patty Jenkins. No.
Sophia Coppola.
Don't ever do that.
Where the hell has she been? Like,
I don't know if she can direct action.
yeah.
It'd be interesting for other choices.
I mean, didn't she do The Hurt Locker, right?
That was
Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Catherine Bigelow would be an interesting choice.
She'd be good too.
She'd be good for like one of the big like an Avengers movie.
I would have see do more of a more of a action centric movie.
Like a Point Break.
If she did something like I don't know, like a
Punisher. Give her a Punisher movie.
Punisher would be good too.
Wow.
I want John Woo to direct a Punisher movie. Let's see. Is John Woo still alive?
John Woo direct Daredevil.
When was the last Punisher put
Thomas
out?
Jane?
Yeah, that was.
Oh wait, no, that was
Ray
10 years
Stevenson.
ago.
Stevenson.
Yeah,
Right.
Warzone.
He was a good Punisher shit movie.
Yeah, it was a pretty horrible movie.
Yeah.
The good part was when he fucking grenade launched that parkour dude in midair. That was
That was
the best part.
I mean, some of but it's bad. Very bad.
All right, cool. So we're going to talk a bunch of Star Wars stuff. A lot of Star Wars news came out this week. First thing is... we got lightsabers over there. We'll battle later. They released the Clone Wars last season, season 7. Famously, they didn't once Disney bought Star Wars. They had plans for last season of Clone Wars, but it got kind of pushed back, and so now that they got streaming service and got all this stuff out, they need more content. They're making the last season finally. This trailer came out a couple days ago. I think the trailer looks amazing. If you're a fan of Clone Wars, if you're not, you should watch it because Clone Wars is awesome. It makes you appreciate the prequels a little more. It's Some of the standouts, it looks like it ties into Rebels also. I think Kanan's in there from Rebels. You see a little cameo from him. So it's all going to kind of tie all the things together. Maul versus Ahsoka. I can't wait for that. And just kind of giving a proper ending to the Clone Wars, which was an awesome TV show, really great, underrated Star Wars. If you love Star Wars, you'll love that show. Sophia, did you watch this trailer? What'd you think of it?
I did. It actually looks really interesting. So I have not watched like the Clone Wars series.
Did your father make you do this? Have you watched the Clone Wars?
Well, here's my thing. So the Clone Wars that I have seen is the Jen D. Tartakovsky one.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah, it was good.
And the fact that it was written off as not canon and then scrapped, and then this new Clone Wars came in, it just like really discouraged me from like watching it.
I was kind of bummed about that too.
Yeah, because also it just like the biggest thing, like it feels very reminiscent of like a season 9 Doctor Who, you know, like the reboot, you know, where it was just filmed so poorly in the beginning, you know, and for me it's the art style just does not like, my eyes do not react well to it, and it's just, even I've heard the story's great, I've heard the voice acting is you know really good, but I like the art style just really kind of, it bugs me, rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, it's like puppet animation. Like you get used to it, and it really gets better towards the later seasons. Like so some of there's some great episodes. There's great homages there's like the second season. There's an episode where they fight a Godzilla type monster in Coruscant, where it's pretty much a 50s monster movie, and they do a zombie episode where they're fighting like zombie. Remember the alien, the Genosians from episode 2? There's like they're fighting zombie versions of Genosians. It's awesome. It's an awesome show. Definitely check it out, especially if you like The Mandalorian. There's a lot of stuff about Mandalore in there. There's a great storyline with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Princess of Mandalore, where he falls in love. You know, he almost leaves the Jedi Order because he's in love with this Mandalorian princess. Ricky, what'd you think of this trailer?
I mean, I thought the trailer looked fun, but you know, I have to agree as well that like I'm not a huge fan of the particular artwork and stuff. But
it's a big turnoff for a lot of people.
For the storyline, everything, yeah, I'll give it a watch for sure.
Yeah.
Also, the art looked a little bit better in the trailer for this season. I was actually like pleasantly surprised. Where it was like, oh, I could envision myself like sitting down for this. Yeah,
the last couple of seasons they really kind of like streamlined it, and made it look a little better, and they kind of fixed a lot of those issues in Rebels. So a little more better animation on those. Rick, what'd you think of this?
It looks cool, man. I haven't really got to see a lot of this run of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
You keep telling me that.
Yeah,
this is the redeeming thing for
I'm telling you, it makes
Anakin.
you appreciate the prequels, man. Anakin's the main thing. Like Anakin is acting like the way you wanted Anakin to act.
That was my main thing about.
It makes me appreciate that character a lot more. I love that character, Anakin Skywalker, because of the Clone Wars.
This it looked awesome. I know a lot about Ahsoka. You know, read a lot about her going forward.
Oh, she was hated too, man. I hated Ahsoka because that first movie they released, the Clone Wars cartoon movie they released, they tied a couple episodes together. It was horrible. I hated it so much. That's why I didn't watch Clone Wars for a long time, because it was horrible. It was a horrible movie. They picked the worst episodes to start off showing people, and it was just a big turnoff. Then I started watching a couple episodes, and I was like, oh, this is not bad. Oh, this is actually pretty good. And so like the Darth Maul stuff, like Darth Maul coming back, it was amazing. Such great storytelling. Like that shouldn't work on paper. Like, oh, if Darth Maul comes back, he got cut in half. There's no way.
Baloney, dude.
But he's an alien, so of course alien physiology is a little different. So of course the way they explain him coming back is amazing. If you watch just for the Mandalore stuff and just for the Darth Maul shit and the youngling fucking Jedi Wookiee Jedi, that's all you need right there.
So is he like a lizard where he grew like the other half of his body back? And
no,
are there two of him now?
No, there's
oh shit.
No, he ends up like in a trash heap, and he gets slowly rebuilt. He loses his mind, and his brother comes in to save. It's crazy. It's like crazy fucking story. But he ends up getting metal legs, and he basically builds himself up, and he takes over the crime syndicate in the universe. So that's kind of ties into Solo too. If you saw Solo, spoiler alert for Solo, Maul shows up in the end of that, and he's one of the big crime bosses in the universe. It's some good shit. He fights the Emperor at some point. It's fucking great. Just the Maul storyline and Mandalore. So watch those episodes. Even watch anything else. Any final thoughts on this, Rick?
Awesome. Can't wait to watch it.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Let's see. This is kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer news right here. The Obi-Wan series is supposedly on hold, being retooled right now. I guess I heard some of the rumors where they want to. The script is like some of the script is too similar to Mandalorian, where Obi-Wan's protecting Luke, and there's some like story beats that are a little too similar. So they were saying they're going to cut the series order from 6 to 4. So there's a lot of stuff coming out. Like Ewan McGregor came out and said like some of this is bullshit. Like some of the rumors coming out. So I don't know. Sophia, what'd you think of this news? Are we bummed or hurt?
Honestly, like, I'm always a fan with any art, if it's an album or a TV show or movie, whatever, if like the creators deem that they need more time to make it good.
Yeah.
You don't want a Cats, situation where they're like putting out new renders. Like, that's ridiculous to me. It's like, put out something that you're proud of, and like if I'm bummed that I have to wait, more, a few more months or a year or whatever, it's like, yeah, that does suck, but I would rather have a finished product that they're proud of and I enjoy, so.
Yeah, because easily you can just like slap Obi-Wan name on it and throw it out there, and some people will like something, but if you're going to take your time with it and actually make it right,
exactly. I mean, because that's what I feel. I feel like a lot of the the movies in the new trilogy are very rushed, but you can tell with Mandalorian. That's why I loved it so much, that there was like, you could tell there was intention for every episode and the entire storyline. Like, everything was tied together. Everything was like, there's love put in it. Yeah, put some love in there. Yeah.
Put some love in the shit. Ricky, what'd you think?
I mean,
what do you think of this news?
I'm okay with them retooling it, but it just sucks that when they announce something and you're like excited about it and then they pull it back, you just have that like, damn it!
Didn't you know this like months ago when you were talking about this? Like now you're like, oh wait, now we have to go back now. Like, well, like you should have figured this out before got everybody's fucking hopes up.
It's all Disney. They could talk to each other and be like, well, we're gonna make this, and well, maybe we shouldn't do this, but they. Obviously, they don't talk to each other. It's very dysfunctional.
Just look over the cubicle and talk to each other. Rick?
I don't want to know how they greenlit 8 episodes before reading
Well, it was
the script.
6. It was 6 episodes.
6 episodes?
Yeah, it was 6 episodes originally, yeah.
Hour long?
They haven't said.
So if they're going to do 4, I think it's better off they go about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
This is a special character, man. When it comes to
especially got Ewan McGregor in his prime right now, perfect age to be Obi-Wan.
You brought him back. This is a big thing for Disney. This is one of those make or break characters. You fuck this up, you're gonna have a huge part of your fan base just like pissed at you for a very long time.
Wait, pissed off Star Wars fan?
No, not to the point. I mean, to the point where they could lose a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. This is one of the sacred characters when it comes to Star Wars. Obi-Wan, Yoda.
One of the few characters that come out of the prequels kind of unscathed, like even more. Yeah, so it's
he was a great
Obi-Wan.
representation in the prequels. I mean, great character through the originals, and I just don't want them to fuck this guy up, man. Not this guy.
Not this guy.
Not this guy. I'm glad they redeemed like Anakin through Clone Wars, but this could be the opposite effect that they can
He had a
fuck it
great
up.
story arcs in Clone Wars too, and they kind of another thing about Clone Wars. Sorry to harp on it, but like Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship is a little more fleshed out too. You don't really get to see those in the movie.
No.
They skip over a lot of shit for them too.
I bet, man. It's just
it makes that scene in Revenge of the Sith like way more.
Fucking, I don't know what possessed them to cast that kid. I really don't.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
What they fucked up on that too is like when you put them like Natalie Portman in the room with her and like see if they have chemistry, because that like a major no chemistry, man.
No chemistry.
Yeah.
No chemistry.
Like not believable at all. So I don't know.
How are you?
Yeah, that's. I hate sand. I think episode 2 is the worst one. I think episode 1 has more redeeming qualities than episode 2.
Like, we always talked about episode 1 and 2 should have been mashed up.
Should have been one movie, yeah.
And this Clone Wars series should have been the second fucking movie. Man.
That's what we thought it was going to be for a long time.
Bastards.
All right, so hopefully they do it right. Take it, like you said, Sophia said, take your time, do it right. Don't rush it.
Don't fuck it up.
Let's see. All right, some more Star Wars news. So this happened like last week. The leaked Colin Trevorrow, his leaked script for what was it called? Duel of the Fates was the working title.
That's a great title, man.
Yeah.
That is a great title. I like the
Speaking
title.
of titles,
we
yeah.
were just
Yeah.
talking about titles.
Yeah.
That's a catching one.
Kind of
It's
a
like,
callback to Phantom Menace with the great, probably one of the best musical cues in the Star Wars universe, the Duel of the Fates during the Maul Obi-Wan Qui-Gon battle. I think this script, I read some of the highlights of it. Robert Meyer Burnett, he kind of got a hold of the script and leaked, kind of talked about it on his channel.
you spoiled it?
That's great. I love when you do that.
Yeah, I went through some of the stuff. There's some stuff that was cool. Like I like Luke kind of Force Ghost Luke fucking with Kylo. That was kind of I wish they kind of left that in.
Yeah.
The double bladed Rey lightsaber was cool. The biggest issue I had with this script is it's too much of a sequel to Last Jedi, which I'm not a big fan of, and they were taking some of those cues from that movie. A lot of people are like, saying, "Oh, this is the version I should have went with." I don't see it. But Sophia, what'd you think of this? You went through this, and what'd you think?
Okay.
You saw Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
And you saw Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I despise Rise of Skywalker with every fiber in my being. So when I saw that this script was leaked, I read the highlights and stuff, and I think it would have been. I don't think it would have been a good movie, but I think it would have been astronomically better than whatever bullshit they like. The Palpatine stuff is insane to me.
It felt forced. That felt like, so to speak.
Wait, it's like it's the thing that just boils my blood with this new trilogy is. No, none of the movies agree with each other.
It's not consistent
they all fight.
At all, yeah.
They are trying
conflicting. All the movies are conflicting. They should have had either Abrams just direct all of them. I think it would have been a lot.
I don't like Abrams as a director.
Really?
There's also too many heart-tugging, squishy moments in Rise of the Skywalker that I was just like, oh, Disney.
Yeah. But you see, I don't know if it's even a Disney thing because Mandalorian, there was not a single moment Mandalorian where I was like, ew, stop. But
except for the cute baby Yoda. That's totally Disney right there.
Yes.
That's not Disney. That's a gift from God. Okay?
Yeah, but it was at the end of The Last Jedi with the Rose and Finn kiss.
Oh man, it's so awkward.
I felt no emotion. I wasn't.
This is how we win.
Yeah, I was like, cool, I guess. I thought she died. I was surprised that she came back. I was like, oh really? All right, I guess.
That was not a good Star Wars character. She seems so out of place in that movie.
The whole thing, and that's in the leaked script, she was gonna have more of a focus, and I was like,
I'm glad that the most awkward relationship in Star Wars. Like Luke and Leia had a more passionate relationship than Finn and Rose.
Oh, well, I mean, actually, that's the other thing because they kept talking about in Rise of Skywalker. They're like, we featured the first Star Wars LGBTQ kiss, and everyone was like, oh, cool, Finn and Poe, they're actually going to have, some representation. And then it's two minor characters.
Yeah, in the background. One little quick scene.
Oh, God. That queer baiting at its finest. Not cool.
Ricky, what do you think?
She said it all.
Yeah.
She said it all.
Yeah.
I'm angry, okay?
Yeah, I like the Rise of Skywalker. I liked it better the second time. I was kind of had some issues with it the first time, but it's.
I don't know if I can give it another second, a second whirl.
I liked it better definitely the second time, man. I like a lot of that movie. Some of the stuff I didn't like. I didn't like some of the spoilers, but the awkward fucking kiss at the end too. They had another awkward kiss at the end. Some of the Kylo stuff. I don't like Kylo being redeemed either. He should have been just straight bad guy, go out a bad guy. Ricky, other Ricky.
All right.
Look, chomping up the.
This is my thing with this script leak. A lot of people in hindsight, basically, and we're in 2020. Hindsight's 2020.
Oh jeez, we're gonna hear that all fucking.
Trevorrow, this flick would have still been shit. Because the thing is, I can't blame JJ. If JJ was able to do everything from the beginning, it would have been a more cohesive
And
thing. It would have been one good story though. That's what I'm trying to tell people.
And supposedly, supposedly JJ, they had to cut a bunch of shit out because Disney was like, no, you can't do that, can't do that. So he got pigeonholed too. Like Disney just needs to stay out of it. And let filmmakers make the fucking movie.
Supposedly there's going to be a director's cut.
3-hour cut of a.
But it comes down to there's no cohesion in this shit. Kathleen Kennedy is just there to make money, not to.
Which she does. All these movies.
She does make money.
She makes money. She
does make money, but she's not there to make great movies. She doesn't give a shit about the fan. She just cares about her bottom dollar. And I'm hoping Disney finally sees that because there's big rumors that they're gonna fucking replace her finally.
Well, they're not gonna replace her. Her contract runs out.
But they're gonna push her out.
Like it's supposed to be Filoni, Favreau, and I forgot the other. There's another lady that producer lady. She's big. I think she produces like Rebels and Star Wars and Clone Wars and stuff.
I heard a lot of other guys too.
So yeah, it's
But that's thing one. But the whole thing about fucking what Abrams did with Rise of Skywalker. This is pretty much kind of like what Nolan. And it was lucky that Nolan was able to do it because it was his singular vision of the whole Dark Knight trilogy. But he had to rewrite his third fucking movie because he had to go a different direction. I didn't like Dark Knight Rises as much as everybody else did.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
I had issues with it. I was pissed off.
Cool.
Yeah.
But it's horrible in other parts. It's just I'm glad I got to see. It's like bad fucking pizza, even though it's fucking.
It makes
bad,
no sense.
So good.
Like Batman. Like come on, Batman's gonna be fucking.
He's not
not Batman over the girl. Okay. And then I come back, I'm Batman. Then I'm gone again. Like I like my Batman movies with Batman in it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I get it. But see, that's like the whole thing with like this.
Oh, and the fucking movie. Robin shit at the end. Oh my god.
Don't start.
Oh, the James Blake.
That's my fucking.
Oh, you should use your real name, Robin. That's your real name. No.
Horrible.
Oh, that's pissed off.
That to me felt like a pieced together fucking script. Because it went against what he had originally planned.
Yeah, if Heath Ledger didn't die, I definitely would have.
There's a different script. I want to know what that idea would have been and everything. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately we got to see this movie, even though it's still my favorite, for some fucking odd reason. I don't like Palpatine being back. There's a lot of shit that pisses me off.
I like the visual. I like the visual of Palpatine being back.
It got hodgepodged together. Like you said, it's a lot of fan service. And then I started thinking about that, and I was just like, I'm not sure if that's entirely a really good thing.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
I wanted some, but not all. Rise of Skywalker spent 30 to 40 minutes, just like I said, redoing everything. Or retconning or explaining what happened in The Last Jedi. Which I don't want to get into that shit. But I just hate to hear these leaks. Some of them I like, some of them I don't.
Some of the concept art is kind of cool that came out from it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It would have been bad. It would have been bad either way.
I think it just it needed to have somebody like just same director or just the same writer on 3 films. They should have been cut some kind of. It just feels like 3 different movies.
Storyboard it, man. like have a line. But I mean, I don't know. I still don't. I think it was kind of doomed from the beginning.
Yeah, anything they did with this movie would have been.
No, I mean even from like Force Awakens, because like I mean the episode 6 ends with the rebels winning, right? So then why are they all of a sudden not in power anymore in the beginning? I mean, what would have been way cooler, in my opinion, is if, like, so you have this, like, new Death Star, right? Where you can keep that plot line, right?
That was the worst part of my
But think about it. If, so, like, the rebels are now in charge, right? And they have the control of the galaxy, and then the Empire is now in these smaller, like, little factions like the rebels used to be, and then you could call it the Third Order instead of the First Order, because like the Third Rock and like the Empire's built off of Nazis.
They were doing that with the First Order. They didn't want to make the
make it. I mean, it's Disney, but
Hux is like definitely Hitler in that fucking
right
in that speech.
But then imagine if like the rebels are like, the Third Order, First Order, whatever, is like they're getting stronger, and so then they build this kind of Death Star, and the roles are reversed, and we can have that same conversation of like how good can exist without evil, like the whole the overarching theme throughout all of Star Wars, and you can actually see the roles reversed.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm glad this saga is kind of over and they're kind of done with this.
Yeah.
Now they can just
Leave it alone.
I want to see the High Republic, like Wakiti's rumor for the High Republic movie that Feige's producing supposedly. So I want to see that. I want to see stuff from the past. I'm okay with the Skywalker saga being done, but I do want to see the rumors about the cartoon coming after Return of the Jedi. Luke training Leia, they're kind of starting the Jedi Order again. So that's the stuff
what I would want to see.
So that's a big rumor for the next cartoon series. Let's see. All right, so some good Star Wars talk. So much Star Wars news this week. Let's see. So the big question for this week, I lay on to the panel. Kind of what comic book, cartoon property from the past that's not in active development that you would like to see made into a live action movie. So just like anything that's from your childhood or comic book series, a kind of underrated comic book series, like just make a great live action. A lot of things are in development, but they're not being made. But so let's see, Sophia, I'll go to you first. What do you got on your list? What do you want to see live action from your?
Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. Make it, please.
Oh wow, Seconds. Huh?
I think it would be, if not a movie, I think it'd be a cool mini series, 4 to 6 episodes. I think would be awesome. It's I don't know if for those who don't know the plot, it's about this upcoming chef Katie who works at this restaurant called Seconds, and she figures out that she can kind of rewrite her past mistakes by writing down her mistakes in a journal, eating a mushroom, and then going to sleep, and then it kind of fixes. So it's really interesting, and it plays around with dreams, more metaphysical stuff, and it's really interesting, and it's funny. It's also Brian Lee O'Malley, and there's a whole Scott Pilgrim is always
he's the writer and artist of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, exactly.
Great series. If you
great
haven't
movie.
Yeah, I mean, and
the comic book is amazing. I love the comic book so much.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think it would be really cool if we could see Edgar Wright come back and direct it. I think they make a great team together. I mean, the Scott Pilgrim franchise, from comic book to movie, is it's done so well. They obviously they couldn't fit all the information, but it's still it pays respects. It's great.
I would love to see a cartoon of Scott Pilgrim made.
They were on Adult Swim, and then they stopped.
They had the little shorts, where you fight in the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
Did I miss
it?
There's a little short. It's on the Blu-ray. There's a little short, couple minute.
And the video game isn't sold anymore, which
I still have it on my PS3. It's saved on there.
I don't have it anymore.
It's so good. I love that game so much. Did you max out Scott Pilgrim? He's a sad.
But yeah, I would like to see Seconds, and that'd be really cool. And I think you could do a lot of cool stuff with art, even having I think it'd be really cool to have live action, but when it's in that dream kind of state, it goes to cartoon. I think that would be really cool. I think that would get eaten up a lot, and also having the whole comic book is kind of in a monochrome setting. There's just lots of reds and blues the cover. And I think that would be cool if that was carried over more. Also, I would like to see anything by Jack Kirby made into Sandman. I think that would be really.
Oh, yeah. Sandman be good.
Yeah, getting that kind of creepy vibe back into cartoons.
You talk about Neil Gaiman or?
Yeah.
Okay, you said Jack Kirby.
No. Jack Kirby's Sandman.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which one is that? What Jack Kirby Sandman?
This one.
They're pulling a lot of Jack Kirby. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
yeah, Mike Roger.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
It's a great, horrible costume. I love that.
Yeah.
So good. Cool. Anything else on your list?
No. I think that's it.
See,
yeah.
Sophia, bringing the knowledge, man. Ricky, what you got for us? What do you want to see?
I want to see my favorite all-time toy growing up and cartoon growing up made into a better movie than the trash they made last. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I want to see a really kick-ass, made-for-adult version of G.I. Joe that's gritty and dark and
Hurt Locker. Is fucking
there you go, Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow, G.I. Joe.
There you go.
They're making the Snake Eyes movies coming out later this year. That's probably gonna suck too. Yeah. Let's see. I got a couple things. I want to see Savage Dragon by Eric Larson. The great. I got one. Oh yeah, Savage Dragon. It's a great underrated comic book series by Eric Larson, who lives in the Bay Area. You kind of run into him every once in a while. Yeah, they did. They make a cartoon. They made a cartoon of this in the '90s. Was fucking shit. This is like, it needs to be like a rated R. It could either be a TV show or a movie. I think a TV show would be cool. It's a dragon, like a human dragon. He's mysteriously lands in Chicago. He ends up being a cop for the police force and taking down like superpowered criminals. Like the art's great. Like the character designs are awesome. Like speaking of Jack Kirby, he's very Jack Kirby influence. The action is great and like just great weird characters, and I think it would be great for like maybe like a Guillermo del Toro movie or something like that. It'd be a great design for that. The next one, Battle Chasers by Joe Madureira. It's kind of a fantasy, like sci-fi kind of series.
Zelda.
It's like it has like RPG elements to it.
They have
and it's
a game
like
for that.
they have a game for it too. Yeah, it's Joe Madureira was an X-Men artist back in the day. They all went off in a.
Looks like Link.
Yeah, he's very influenced by those kind of like fantasy films and like fantasy RPG games and stuff. So it's definitely like would be a great like epic like maybe like trilogy or movie. So yeah, Joe Madureira, Battle Chasers. What else did I have on my list? Let's see, Futurama. I think would make a great live action movie. I think a couple years ago they had like a fan film. Live action fan film somebody made, but I think if you put a budget and like actually make a Futurama movie would be amazing. Let's see,
It's doable.
Yeah, I think you could do let me see what else. Saga, the comic book series from Dark Horse. Have you read Saga yet? I think you would dig Saga. You should read Saga. It's a great fantasy, like it's like a space opera set in space, and the Brian K. Vaughan is the writer of it. And he's kind of famously said that he doesn't want it to be a movie or a TV show, but it's amazing. It's a crazy concept, crazy characters. It's an amazing book if you get a chance to read it. I think it's coming up on its second half of its run. It's going to end probably in a couple of years. So it's a great series if you haven't picked it up.
That does totally look like Zelda.
Yeah, same shit, right? She's a great character. Those gloves give her like superpowers. Like she's like super strong with those gloves. Also, let's see. The Question would be a great. The Question, like a David Duchovny, like Mulder type character. Yeah, he's basically Rorschach. Like the character of Rorschach is based on The Question. He's like a conspiracy theorist character, like a Fox Mulder.
Is that who you would choose to like portray him? David
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
Right.
David Duchovny would be actually thinking about that. Yeah, he'd be good at that. Just basically Mulder with a fucking a faceless mask. That's pretty much in a fucking trench coat. Yeah, so it's a great character. I think it'd be awesome as a like a HBO show or something like that. Yeah, just kind of him like dealing with conspiracy theories in the superhero universe. So that's a great character. And also my last one, One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a great animated series, anime.
I know somebody like that, One Punch Man.
Yeah, I think we know a few of those in our business. He's a great anime. If you haven't checked it out, I think a live action One Punch Man would be amazing.
That'd be funny.
It'd be it's a great character. If you haven't seen it, it's basically he's a superhero, but he's too powerful. So all it takes is one punch to take out an enemy. So he's go walking around just bored, just having no one to fight because fights last 1 second. It's a very weird, awesome show. Great character designs and stuff. Rick, what do you got?
So I got two for comics. So I'd like to see American Vampire turned into like a series by
who's right on
Scott
it?
Snyder.
Scott Snyder, that's right. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool series. Just showing how like vampires like they're like aristocratic in like Europe, but there's like an American breed all of a sudden, and they fucking just view. And now there's like vampire racism all of a sudden. It's like, wow, you European bastard. So it's pretty sick. The character Skinner Sweets. He's a bit of he's a fucking rebel. He does things his way. He doesn't give a fuck. Kind of like a Lestat, kind of in a way, but just like an American version. Pretty cool. I still stick to Sleeper.
Yeah.
I want to see Sleeper by Brubaker turned into a mini series.
TV.
2 seasons. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll be done with it. Has the perfect ending. The only book I've ever read where I've read it multiple times, and it's because the ending is just so satisfying. It ends. Some may view it in a fucked up way. Some may view it ended perfectly. But either way you view it, it just ends like this is its story. It's
rare
there's
that
nothing else afterwards. There doesn't need to be anything else afterwards.
Yeah, a lot of stories like these great runs, like they end on a whimper. So it's good when you see like an ending, a proper ending to a series.
Holden Carver, it'd be like almost like an espionage, military espionage with bits of mob superhero influences, which is fucking. It all makes sense in its thing. Superheroes and the supervillains.
I'd watch
weird
that.
Superpowers, and they have some weird superpowers. Like one lady, her name is Miss Misery, so she can't help but smoke like 20 packs a day, and kick children for fun. Like, or if she sees a baby,
Sounds like Mom.
If she sees a baby, she's just liable to punch it because that's how if she wants to be caring, that's where she starts dying. So she can't experience anything. So it's just and there's a whole lot love triangle. It's all fucked up. It's Sleeper is like one of my fucking. It's awesome, and Brubaker is just like he's a true master. Doesn't have to deal with any other like a main character like Cap or Bucky. He just takes like some real minor characters and weaves a fucking story.
That storyline is so fucked up. You'd have to get like a Japanese director to like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Parasite?
Who directed the Human Centipede? Centipede, yeah.
Somebody who did like Old Boy or some shit. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Crazy, man. It's a really nutty book, but it's fucking dope, man. So Sleeper is definitely a winner, and. If I could have this made, I think DiCaprio owns the rights. It'd be like a childhood dream come true. I want to see fucking Robotech. I want to see Robotech trilogy, first on Earth, and then the last 2 in space. Yeah. Because
that'd be awesome,
show is a fucking. It's a huge space. It's a huge space drama. The fucking humans, they show that they're flawed. They're racist.
It's a documentary, right?
Man, it's weird.
Yeah, Robotech's awesome, man. I love the designs of the character. The fucking robot designs are fucking amazing.
Great,
I just imagine like a fucking epic space battle, all the ships going at it. Oh, man.
The main character's named Rick Hunter, so nice. There's a badass Rick in the fucking universe.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, there you
Too
go.
many Ricks.
I fucking love Robotech.
Speaking of like space epic stories, did you ever catch all the Expanse yet?
I haven't started it.
You haven't started it?
It's on my list. Now I just added to my Amazon Prime. I got so many streaming services. I'm trying to. Dude, I'm catching up. Now I'm watching Gargoyles.
Nice.
This guy I was like, I remember Gargoyles. I'm
So
going to
good.
start watching Gargoyles.
Oh, so good. I love it so much.
So,
it's my happy place right now.
So give me the Robotech and give me the Veritech Fighter. I don't want the motorcycles yet, depending on how it goes. But I think DiCaprio has the rights.
Yeah, I think so. He was going to make it for a long time. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that for a while.
It'd be just... I've always wanted to pilot a Veritech Fighter. And I'd love to see
someday,
one
Rick. Someday.
I'd love to see one on screen, man.
You'll get there one day.
I'd love to see one on screen. They're just awesome.
It's definitely like super made for that. I just thought of a couple other ones. I'm a big fan of the book because I think but the concept's good. It's called Moonshine. I forgot who wrote it. It's basically like it's set in Prohibition era, like in the South and like New York in the South, and it's a werewolf movie. It's like a werewolf story. Like it's like tied into like moonshining and
werewolves are moonshining.
It's
Prohibition
tied on
werewolves.
Yeah, it's like a gangster
werewolf
horror. Like the concepts were the execution wasn't that great, but I think the concept would be awesome for like a TV show, like a HBO or a Netflix thing. Also, I forgot one on my list too. Dinosaurs. Remember Dinosaurs? Basically, Dinosaurs. It's super cheesy 80s cartoon. It was like these warring, like it's pretty much like Transformers but with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. That's my jam right there. It's basically like these two warring factions of dinosaur, like they talk and they're dinosaur warriors going at it. It's super cheesy, but they come to Earth and like battle and like get these kids involved. It's a goofy fucking TV show. It's super cutty. I think there was like 60 episodes back in like the 87 or so.
65 episodes.
Yeah, and it was super cheesy. It's the characters are great though. It's like fucking what was the main dude's name? It was like what the fuck were they called?
I'm bringing it up.
It's super cheesy. I think it'd be a great like kids like TV show or like kids movie would probably work better because you need a lot of animation for it. But look up dinosaurs.
Got you.
Aloe, and there was what was it?
Metro, Bronto Thunder, Stego, Tricero, Bonehead,
Icky was my favorite. That was
Terex.
Those are some awesome names.
Brian and Sarah Spencer.
It was
David.
It was a Pteranodon. What was
Should
it?
enter all those into baby
The
book.
Tyrannos, led by Genghis Rex.
Yes, Genghis Rex. Yes. Oh, so good. So bad, but so good. We need a
So
tiger.
I'm gonna name my firstborn son.
Genghis Rex. Genghis Rex. Awesome. Any other anything popping out for anybody else? Like anything else you want to see made from your?
Come to think,
I think
of
Rugrats was your choice right for that.
Does anybody like Gundam? I mean, I haven't seen a live action
Gundam style.
Gundam anything.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't been made into a live action movie. Yeah, Gundam would be cool.
Pretty fucking kick-ass.
I just want to see big robots fighting each other. Any property.
We have the technology to do it nowadays.
I'd like to see Captain N, the Game Master, turn into something wild. That's
Captain N. Wow, that's
bring the
deep cuts.
Captain N back, man.
Bionic 6. How about that?
Bionic 6.
I think
These were cartoons from the
Mask.
80s. Mask.
Mask would be dope.
Yeah, I think that's
That's in development?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're trying to tie like the whole Hasbro universe. They're trying to like tie them all together. There
Give
was
me
like
the Monchichis too now. Give me the Smurfs. I want the fucking Monchichis.
I think also like I don't know. Just talking about like Battle Chasers doing like actually having like a Zelda miniseries.
Yeah,
that might actually be
that's a
really
good shout.
cool.
I'm surprised that should have been yours,
Yeah.
Rick. See,
You know what? The
Yes,
whole
Mr.
thing about
Link over
the
there.
whole thing that scares me about Zelda is they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, no,
Well, of course.
it has to be a miniseries. I think, in my opinion, I think if they try to do like a movie epic, it's just gonna get trashed.
The only way they can make a movie epic, it better be on the because that storyline.
stop covering your mouth, Rick.
No, dude. I'm watching.
It's
Scary, look what you did to him, poor guy.
I'm beaten.
Oh, wait.
Link is his trigger word.
Yeah, no. It's just because look, this is the whole thing. I would think that it would be something as epic as Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Okay, but who
I want to see because you have to have a kid.
would
Yeah.
play Link? That's
You
the
have to find
question.
it's a
I
10-year-old
think-
kid.
Finn Wolford, just for everything.
Oh. No.
I don't want like a teenager who's hella old playing a kid.
I want a kid.
legit
Yeah.
want a kid.
Yeah.
This is his story.
Yeah.
And then have him find the fucking Sword of Time and then fucking get transported into being the 18-year-old Link.
Exactly. I'm right there with you.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
The whole first movie is his journey as a kid. Second movie, because I think it's not a trilogy. It's a 2-part movie and that's it.
Yeah.
I vote for an 8-bit soundtrack too.
What I would love, and don't get me wrong.
Scott Pilgrim.
I've thought about this the whole thing, like that whole 8-bit beginning of the
Scott
intro.
Pilgrim?
That should be the beginning when it says like presented by Nintendo,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
right before, and then they give you the epic fucking score going into like something like the medley for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And you start in the Kokiri Forest, but they're gonna fuck it up.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it would have to be, at least for me, like, it would have to be, like, a different sort of, like, art style or something. Like, I wouldn't just want it to be, like, let's try to make it as realistic as possible, live action. Like, I want it to be, kind of, like, whimsical, so, like, interesting.
Yeah, don't take like try to make it like serious and like
Yeah,
Don't
exactly,
cross it,
yeah.
Don't cross it. Lord of the Rings. It's all the way Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings meets Willow. That's what it is.
That's a good shot.
Okay.
That is exactly what this movie is.
Like
It's
a little
Lord of the Rings
fantasy, but there's
meets
some like
Willow.
heart to it, and there's some like it's not.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I don't want Link having a band with him. You know how I don't want him having a bunch of Scoobies next to him and shit.
Oh
like,
no.
We're gonna help you. Link does that shit by himself.
Yep.
He's very.
Listen.
You give him Navi. You have to give him Navi. But yeah, that'd be. Oh god, that'd be great.
See, should have been yours, Rick.
Sorry, no, but it's just
Thank you,
I'm
Sophia.
scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Picking up the slack.
I'm scared.
Wait, I have one more, real
bring it on.
quick. Did you ever play the Professor Layton series? Oh my god, great series of Nintendo games in like late 90s, early 2000s. Fantastic, needs to be like a series.
Which Nintendo? Super Nintendo, N64?
And just DS.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean there might have been another one. I'm not sure, but all the ones I played are on DS. It's like it's kind of like a Sherlock Holmesy type thing, and it's like a puzzle solving game. But the stories for all of the games are so intense. They're really really good. They're really thought out very well. Like really interesting plot twists. They're super fun to play. But I think it would be like a cool. Like another series, like maybe like a Black Mirror type, like Black Mirror meets Sherlock kind of thing. Like that's what these kind of episodes are, and I think it would be cool. Like how Black Mirror did the interactive episode with what was it called?
Bandersnatch. Yeah.
Bandersnatch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would necessarily work with this Professor Layton thing, but it would be cool to maybe see that. The art style's
The only one
fantastic.
I haven't seen is Bandersnatch yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
really?
cool. It's fun. Yeah, I spent
Yeah.
hours
Yeah,
going
the
through
thing
like every little like
They
scenario.
did it. They did a good job. It was really
it's
it was
fun.
really interesting.
It's cool content. Like cool to like
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like talking about video games too. Like, it's good to talk about. Like God of War would be a awesome adaptation. I could see that being a good movie series.
Legit Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, like a real from the game,
Legit
based on the game,
Resident
kind of.
Evil
Yeah.
movie. Stop making.
Yeah, outside of the just a step outside of the universe. What's another one? Like video games.
Altered Beast.
Oh yeah, Altered Beast would be awesome, man.
Altered Beast would be a great show.
Yeah.
I could see that would be a great fucking show, man.
A live action Castlevania.
Ooh.
Shinobi.
Shinobi good. Metal Gear. Metal Gear
would be a great.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But look at this art style for Professor Layton. Like, wouldn't that be sick to see like a
Yeah,
cartoon,
that'd be cool.
like kind of like that with that like misshapen.
Kind of like steampunkish kind of.
Yeah.
That's cool. That'd be cool.
It's like steampunk European style
Yeah.
creeping in.
Yeah, see, instead of remaking all this shit, we just gave you fucking, 20 things you could fucking make. You fucking dumb Hollywood. Yeah.
Stop ruining things.
If you want to use any of our ideas, we're totally happy to work out a deal with you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I just want to, a couple $1 million.
$730.
Who works for Nintendo when it comes to film? Do they have a studio that they?
I don't know if they have. I think they have a working relationship with Disney. I think because there's a Mario movie in development, I believe.
Because the only thing that scares me, like somebody would like Disney, is that they would kid it up too much.
Make it too
Yeah.
cutesy. Yeah, don't make it too
It's
cute. It needs to be
Like a
balance.
Wreck-It Ralph. Don't make it a
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph. It has to be. It has to be a little more. Adult geared.
I think that Willow is like a good shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Link is. There's nothing funny about Link. Link's determined. He's a determined kid. Like
Yeah.
one kind of a comparison I draw with Link is Atreyu. Atreyu in the Neverending Story was never cracking jokes. He
Yeah.
was on his adventure.
Even though there was like goofy shit and weird
Yeah,
shit
he
happening,
was not
he was
he wasn't
in it.
cracking jokes.
He was in it to win it, man.
Yeah, but that's how I picture. I've always pictured Link. There is no wisecrack to him. I don't want to see a trailer where Link's cracking a fucking joke. Let other characters crack jokes. That's what they're there for. Link's he's on the journey to do what he needs to do, whatever they're gonna write for the goal. But don't turn him into the wrong kind of character. That's why I was asking, because if it's Disney, they're gonna.
I'm surprised they haven't made. Yeah, they don't really make. I think Super Mario Brothers kind of. I think that was like one of the things they scared them off of like making like big budget American movies because that Super Mario Brothers movie just fucking shit the bed.
That was the 80s,
cheesy.
and
'Cause that's why you haven't seen
drugs, and too many people were fucked up.
Because there even
Yeah, that
animation
movie's
wise.
actually pretty decent when you take a couple hits of acid.
Dude,
Couple.
I fucking watched that movie on shrooms, and it was not cool.
Dennis Hopper's haunting my dreams.
Yeah, I have problems with Goombas now, man.
I like how they Leguizamo playing an Italian guy was that's pretty hilarious.
You know what I just thought of? Animal Crossing. That would be a cool. I would. Yeah, I mean,
Be animated.
yeah, definitely animated. I think that would be really cute. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I was surprised Nintendo hasn't. Just make a Super Smash Brothers movie. I'm down with that. It's just people fighting for like fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that was good discussion about stuff. Yeah, you're welcome, Hollywood. So now, next we're gonna go to our pull list. Our pull list is just stuff you picked up during the week, something you watched, something you listened to, something you. Something you're digging, something something you picked up, good or bad, something like you might have saw and you didn't like that much. Ricky, we'll start with you. Anything you got this week picked up?
I keep buying Kangol. I can't help it, guys.
You have a problem?
I have a problem.
This is your intervention?
This is the AA meeting for your hats.
Since the last time I was here,
Kangol's Anonymous.
I've bought like 8 Kangol hats since the last time I was here. Yeah, it's all bad. That's where I spend all my money. I don't have any money for anything else.
You have to hide it from your wife. You put it in like a Safeway bag and just put it deep back in the closet. Like, I hope she doesn't find out about it.
She finds out.
Opens the fucking closet and just Kangol's like barrier. You find her a couple days later, just buried under your Kangol hats.
Yeah. I'll always plug that company. It's my favorite company ever. You know, they make quality stuff. So
there you go.
I just keep going after them.
Awesome. Sophia, what'd you got? What'd you pick up this week?
I rewatched Watchmen for the second time. Yeah. That was great as always. I started listening to an album that's really interesting. It's by this band called Plumtree that everyone should listen to. They're like,
sounds familiar.
You know what it's from. I'll tell you in a minute. It's comic related. Never. And like they're a super cool band, like all female, like garage rock Canadian band, like 90s, super cool. Anyways, their first album has a song called Scott Pilgrim on it, and Brian Lee O'Malley heard that when he was growing up, and he was like, "Oh, this is sick," and that's actually that's how the character got his name and everything. And like a lot of Plumtree songs are featured in the movie, but what's really crazy?
In the book too, I think, right?
In the book, but like, what's really crazy is because that album came out like I don't know, 10 years or so before Scott Pilgrim did, and it's called Predicts the Future.
Wow.
So they knew in advance. So
mind blown.
Yeah.
Conspiracy there.
Conspiracy. But literally just last night I started watching The Outsider.
Oh, so good. I love that show. It's so good. Oh, if you haven't watched The Outsider, it's so good.
I'm only one episode in.
It's fucking. This show like edge of my seat every week. Like Ben Mendelsohn can do no wrong in my opinion. He's just a great actor, and Jason Bateman directs the first 2 episodes. He's pretty good. It's
Jason
so good.
Bateman, like the comedic actor, that guy.
Yeah, like Hogan's Heroes himself.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's
really
good.
good.
Yeah, I think he directed some of the Ozarks too, right? Yeah. I heard that's really good. I gotta jump into that too at some point. But
Ozark's amazing.
Yeah, well, Outsider. If you haven't watched, so good. So good. I love that show so much. Anything else on your pull list this week?
I don't think so. That's it. Yeah.
Let's see. I didn't really have much this week. I picked up just one comic at the comic shop this week at Mission. Superman. This is the second issue after he reveals his identity to the world. I'm actually pretty digging this. Bendis is writing it right now. I think Bendis is kind of hitting his stride with DC. He kind of started off kind of meh, but now Bendis is kind of getting a good feel for the DC universe, and I think he's doing pretty good. So I'm digging this storyline. What else? I watched Nora from Queens on Comedy Central. It's Awkwafina's show. It's kind of, I don't know if it's kind of autobiographical.
Autobiographical.
There you go. What he said. So it's actually pretty good. I think 1 episode in, it's like her living in Queens and with her grandmother, who's hilarious, and who's the guy from Jurassic Park, the Asian guy? I always forget his name.
Oh god.
He's fucking
B.D. Wong.
B.D. Wong's her dad. He's hilarious in it.
Really?
He's
San Francisco native.
Yeah, it's pretty good. His Queen's accent's hilarious. But it's good. I think she's super talented. I loved her in The Farewell last year. I thought she was kind of snubbed in the Oscar thing. She should have got nominated. She's a pretty underrated actress, and she's pretty funny. I dig her.
That stuff's all rigged. The whole Oscar thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oscar so white. Yeah, it's all fucking whoever has the most money to like campaign and buy votes and shit. So yeah, we had a long discussion about that. That was last weekend. Fuck the Oscars. But she's amazing. I like Aquafina. I hate her name though. Aquafina is a horrible fucking comedic name. Her real name's Nora, so that's why it's called Nora from Queens. But it's pretty funny. I like the first episode. Also, just we were listening to it earlier. The new Eminem album. He just dropped it. Just kind of dropped it last week, and it's pretty good so far. I'm digging it. Yeah, it's good. It kind of sounds like a little more old school Eminem, so I'm digging that for sure. Yeah, so it's pretty good. Rick, what do you got?
So I only really want to talk about one thing because I watched it just 2 nights ago. It's a movie called Love and Mercy. It's about Brian Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Oh no shit.
With Paul Dano
playing
Brian Wilson. Also John Cusack playing a Mulder. And it's just a trip.
Fox Mulder?
Huh? I'm sorry, when you go
Fox Mulder? I thought you said Mulder.
I'd mumble.
Because you have your hand over your mouth. That's
sorry.
You're not on camera. Why are you so nervous?
I'm just a nervous individual. Twitchy. So,
Ricky Twitch.
Yeah.
That's your mom name, Ricky the Twitch. Yeah, it's Ricky the Twitch over there. Hey, got a little twitch over here.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, it's Paul Dano. John Cusack, Elizabeth Banks, Paul Giamatti. God, the guy's an amazing actor. Cause
he is.
The one thing that gets
Pig
you about
vomit.
If you hate the character that he's playing, and you really want to just punch the shit out of him, that just shows you how much like a guy's like getting under your skin, and he's playing the character the fucking right way.
Yeah.
It really deals with a lot of mental health that Brian Wilson had to deal with. Guy's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to listen to like the music and just hear. He was like he felt he was in competition with the Beatles.
Oh yeah.
Although he loved the Beatles, he was like, "You listen to what they're doing. We can't do the same things. They're not doing the same things." So he wanted them to evolve.
He was though.
Huh?
He was in competition with the Beatles.
No, that's but it visually that you see it that he was like, "Oh, listen to them. Look, they're progressing. We need to progress. We can't just keep doing Beach Boy music." It's just like we're the same thing. I mean, shit, they don't even like our music. The fucking surfer guys.
Whatever, they stole from Chuck Berry. Fuck those guys.
It's
Chuck Berry sued him and fucking won.
Yeah, he got his money. So
yeah, there you go.
But still, it's just like, but there's other shit that you can't fake that he did, man.
Yeah.
Like.
I heard it was a good
Pet
movie.
Sounds is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's a great album. So
awesome.
I enjoyed this.
Just Smile. Smile was a
Yeah.
great album.
Yeah. And that shows that this was the pinnacle of all that.
Nice.
He wasn't able to make that shit because he was dealing with a lot of mental problems.
Oh yeah.
Poor kid, and signed himself over to some psychologist and gave him power of attorney over everything.
Wow.
So they fought hard to get that back. It's just.
Wow.
It's a touching story, man. I suggest that. That's a great movie. And you know what? Music by Atticus Ross.
Oh, awesome.
Great music going throughout. I mean,
Atticus Ross and
the mood is set, man. That's a good movie.
when him and Trent Reznor team up, man, they're fucking amazing.
That's a lot. That's a big.
Did that soundtrack for Watchmen come out yet? I want to buy that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's out yet, but
I'm buying that soundtrack.
Oh, it's so good.
I made a playlist based on all their music.
Oh, so good.
Man.
I love that shit. Oh, actually, anything else, Rick?
No, that was it.
Actually, my buddy Megan actually turned me on. She's like big K-pop fan, and she's been like, I listened to some of the, so I'm kind of digging. It's called Taman. Oh no, it's fucking it's pretty catchy. It's pretty catchy, Rick. I don't know.
Are we gonna catch you front of stage waiting for
I
a
hope
high
so.
touch?
Yes, for sure. So yeah, I'm digging it. So shout out for that recommendation. Been listening to that. Let's see. All right, so cool. Some cool pull lists for the week. So next is our hidden gems. Hidden gems is pretty much like stuff that's like show and tell, like you used to do in kindergarten, first grade. Till you bring something in to show the class. So basically, something just personal to you, something that you love. That's probably not mainstream, what have you. So Sophia, let's start with you. What's your hidden gem for the week?
Oh man, I guess I kind of gave it away already. We talked about it. I won't do Scott Pilgrim. I'm sorry. Professor Layton. Like a lot of people don't know about it. Seriously, it is fantastic. I miss, what we were all talking about, like, in the beginning, with, like, all of this, like, Hollywood stuff, just, like, pumping out things that don't really feel like they have a lot of, like, soul and purpose. Like, all of the Professor Layton games are, so well thought out, and the art style is just, it's so interesting, and it's really beautiful. Cool. Also, the score is amazing, too. Like, really great soundtrack. I don't know who did it, but it's fantastic. Also has a great overarching storyline, too, where you can play each game individually, but if you play the games all in cohesion, you have a great, like, overarching storyline. You get to uncover, like, a lot of things. Lots of hidden games, like mini games inside too, that are it's just fantastic. And I really do want them to come up with more things about it, because I don't think it's really that well known.
Yeah,
I haven't really met a lot of people who are like, yeah, Professor Layton.
Yeah. I bet you Audrey knows about it.
Oh yeah, I should ask her. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's something like I grew up playing that, and
that's a definition of a hidden gem right there. There you go. Ricky, what do you got for us?
I brought Mr. Bill Graham with me here.
Nice.
It's a Bill Graham bobblehead. If you guys don't know who Bill Graham was, he's very influential in the concert industry.
Yeah, if you like going to concerts and like the way concerts are set up, pretty much Bill Graham was like the one that kind of set the standard for like concert going experience and kind of like the standard.
Yeah,
he was very, very influential in the Bay Area music scene and like all over. Like the world famous Fillmore. From an undisclosed location. He's a big name. Not to be confused with Billy Graham.
I love this thing. It's a little bobblehead. It's of course he's wearing a San Francisco Giants jacket and a clipboard, but it's really cool because you can actually still get these from the Bill Graham Foundation. You can just write them and give them $50, I think it is, or something like that, and they'll send you one, and they'll put that money to good use because it's actually a donation.
Yeah.
So that's why I was very happy to pay for it myself. I was like, you know what, money's going to a good cause. But yeah, he's the man I've always looked up to ever since I was a little kid. So obviously, it's very special to me.
Nice. There you
I
go.
To share with you guys.
Bobble Graham. Ricky, what you got? What's your hidden gem for the week?
All right. So, lady knew I was such a huge fan of that movie that she bought that for, like, I want this to be your
awesome.
thing for your Christmas tree.
That's awesome.
I love the Christmas Story, man. That's my...
I wish they would show it every Christmas. Like, they never show it.
Dude, I watched that. It doesn't have to be Christmas. That movie, you need a good laugh.
They better never remake that movie. I will be pissed.
I'd be pissed.
Yep.
You should try.
Yeah, oh my God. It wouldn't make sense.
No.
It'd be too PC.
Yep.
Fudge. That movie's hilarious.
That was my dad right there. What did you say? That's what I thought you said.
Oh, the creepiest moment of that movie was when Santa Claus boots him down the slide. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that ruined Santa Claus for me as a young child.
Yeah, that freaked me out. Like,
ho, ho, ho.
This movie's great, though,
shoot your eye out.
You should try.
What is it when the little Wizard of Oz people come and bother me? Don't bother me.
The dog eats the fucking turkey. That's awesome. Oh yeah, that movie's great. That's probably up there with one of the best Christmas movies for sure.
So, reason I don't put it on a tree. I don't put up a tree anymore. So I don't want to take it out of the box. It just seems like too much of a collectible at that point, man. It's from Chile, man. Take it out of the box.
Must be Italian.
It's so creepy when the dad gets the lamb. He's like, "I'll just rub it on it."
Oh no, that's Ralphie rubbing on the lamb. Yeah. Trophy. An award.
Good movie.
Oh, great.
Let's see. I'll save that for next time. So my hidden gem. I've been like kind of collecting these recently, the last few years. It's artist sketchbooks from conventions and stuff. So the great Art Adams. If you go to conventions, you'll see these usually in Artist Alley. Some of the more famous artists will have just collections of their art. Like this is the great Art Adams. Like this great scene from Web of Spider-Man annual number 2. Just great sketchbooks, like stuff that unreleased stuff, like concept art and like just great just uncolored, like the pure sketch stuff, and like just great stuff. Some of them are hard to find, and like you guys just see like the original pencils, like before the inks on some books. Like it's they're great. You know, I have a couple of them. I love Art. I'm a big Art Adams fan, so he's a great cheesy X-Men artist from like back in the day, like a very influential on a lot of artists like Todd McFarlane, J. Scott Campbell, like all these guys look at him as like one of the great artists, one of the very influential artists. He mostly does covers nowadays, but yeah, I've been like if I see an artist I like and they have a sketchbook, like Bob McLeod had one. He's a New Mutants artist. So these things are, you know, they're cutty. Like some of them are hard to find. I have a John Byrne one was pretty expensive, but it's great just seeing like these cutty. Some of these guys have like cutty convention sketches they make or pinups they do in books and just like cutty stuff like that. So stuff you don't really see too often. Like, but you know, these are great. I love collecting these, and they're just in a gem. You know, just great if you see them. If you go to Artist Alley, go to a con, pick these up. They're like rare. They're fun to go through and just like seeing all this original art, unpublished art and stuff, and some published art. So yeah, these my hidden gem sketchbooks.
I've never been to a Comic Con myself.
Oh, they're
looks like good times.
Yeah, they're fun, man. They're fun. Yeah, there's a good one. Every 6 months or so in San Jose, there's a good convention. Like it's a toy comic, and they have records and vintage toys and like clothing and like anime and movies and like everything. Pretty much like if you're a nerd, they have some kind of section for you, like some kind of like thing for you. Actually, currently right now at Ceremony, there's a free toy show going on. Oh. Every like 6 months or so too. They have a convention inside the mall where it's just in the middle of the mall. You walk around and and it's a free convention. You don't have to, pay anything to go in. They have toys, comics, and all kinds of stuff. So it's a cool little cutty one to go to. Like if you want to like a little taste of what the convention's like. But yeah, it's there's some good cons coming up. I think there's one East Bay Con coming up next month. That's a good one. I think it's in Concord. Some good conventions around this area. But I like to go travel and go to conventions. I'm going to Seattle in March to go to Big Emerald City Con. That's a fun convention. We used to have good conventions around here. Then Silicon Valley Con kind of ruined it for us. It's a horrible convention. Yeah, you go to cons too, right? You've been to a convention, right?
Oh yeah, I used to do San Diego like every year, which is insane. That's big. Yeah.
And where's the biggest mecca one?
San Diego. San Diego is like that's the big one. The Emerald City is like the second kind of biggest. And we used to have WonderCon around here, which is an awesome convention for like years, and then moved to Anaheim, which bummed me out. And then we had Big Wow in San Jose, which was really good, and then took over by Silicon Valley. Kind of ruined it. The Silicon Valley Con is a horrible convention. I hate that. Everybody hates that convention. Yep. Like if you love like B-list celebrities, that's a great convention for you. But if you like comics and toys and stuff, it's horrible. It's not a fun time. They kind of ruined Big Wow. It was turning into like a big, great convention, and that's where I met Stan Lee and met some great creators were there. Like, but now they ruined it. Thanks a lot, Wozniak. Damn corporate bullshit in my comics.
On a positive note, I have another hidden gem.
Oh, please.
Type thing. I mean, it's well known, but it was hidden to me that it was happening. Miyazaki films are going to be on Netflix very soon. All of them.
Miyazaki is
Hayao Miyazaki. Spirited Away.
Spirited
Away. Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Have you seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the animation is amazing in that movie. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's like ahead of its time too. It's like really. Just, it's just
kind of creepy.
It's Spirited Away, especially.
It's very Japanese.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all going to be out on Netflix.
Oh, awesome! Cool.
So,
there's a couple of them I missed.
Get your fill.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. We had some good discussions this week. It was a good episode. Any final thoughts for us? Ricky, got anything else? Anybody want to shout out? Anything you want to say? You're so dapper today, man. It's like overdressed, man. Like we set the standard for us, man.
Just like to say hi to all my friends and loved ones.
Yeah. Tell them to click like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
If you really love him, you'll like and subscribe. Yeah.
Where's the subscribe button? It's wait.
Just that thumbs up.
It's over there.
Just give us a thumbs up. Somewhere like
on the screen.
Right there. Down this way.
Like there.
Right there. Sophia Diaz, you want to hit us with anything? Any shout outs? Any?
thanks for watching. Tune in again. Yeah, it's always fun talking about getting mad at Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
my favorite
Nerd
pastime.
rage.
Yeah. That's
It's
the whole
gonna
point
have
of Star
to
Wars.
be an hour of nerd rage. It's gonna be actually a 2-hour episode. We just keep bringing people in.
The epic.
Get your shit off your chest right now. And yell it out.
Thanks for coming on, Sophia. You had some great opinions, and you schooled Rick on some Link knowledge. There you go.
It's a touchy subject. That's my dog, man.
Rick, what do you got for us?
I just want to thank everybody once again, whoever's watching, all the friends of the program.
What we're gonna call? We gotta call our fan base something. We gotta call them the company men and women,
Company
Company
Co.
folk.
co-folk.
Co-folk. That's cool.
Co-folk.
That's cool.
There you go. There you go.
Co-folk.
Done.
Co-folk.
Thanks to all the co-folk out there. First official hashtag co-folk.
Shout out to Graham for our theme song. Check out his band Saliva Tribe. Thanks to Emily for the logo.
The logo's officially going up right now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, why not?
Switch it all up.
Let's all get sued. Why not? Shout out to Mission Comics, Leaf at Mission Comics, fantastic comics. The guys over there, they're moving stores. They're having a going out of business. I was scared, like, oh, they're going to close up. Fantastic comics.
Oh.
But they're moving locations, so I'm glad to see that. I want to see them carry on and thrive. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Super 7, Daniel Super 7, great guy over there, and Frank and Amazing Fantasy, great shop over there. Daryl at Cards and Comics, all these guys that support the channel, man, we love those guys, and hopefully we'll be filming some stuff soon, but we're working on software, and it takes forever, and it takes money, and we don't have money right now. Can't wait for those tax returns, that's when
No, right? Give me my money back.
Yeah, I need my money, you bastards. Cool, so just thanks for everybody watching. You watched this long, thank you, appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and watch out for more shit.